Oh, yeah, mommy. What I mean when I see, what I feel, when I dream, when I be, I'm a freak. What up? Oh, what up? Everybody look at me when I'm free, when I feel, what I see, when I do it, I'm a freak. What up? Oh, what up? Say what we got, it's hot to spot, give up the drop, see what we got, do what, do what? We got to go, the body flow, too hot to show, the front row, we won't stop. What I mean when I see, what I feel, when I dream, when I be, I'm a freak. What up? Oh, what up?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Latin Explaining with Denise. My name is Denise Gonzalez. For those who do not know me, for those who do, welcome back, guys. It's nice to have you here. I see that a few people has started the chat. I see Johnny Mills is here. What's up, Johnny? JS is here. Jose is here. And we have more people before we start today's show. Whew! There's a lot of things going on. And in all honesty, before I start unpacking everything that we have to share today, I want to say, everybody that's here, please hit that like or dislike button. It doesn't matter. Just make sure that you keep the engagement up. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me grow my channel. So once again, guys, welcome to another episode. It's nice to have you here. Before I start today's show, trust me, against my best thoughts, I know a lot of people have approached me to make a response to everything that has transpired online. Unfortunately, hi Smoothie, I don't kiss and tell. There are some things that have transpired. Most of it is not true. However, we have to take things depending on where they come from, and we all know where they come from. Now, there's one thing I will address, and it's an apology to one of my viewers. One of my Latin explainers a while ago made a comment about a specific individual that I'm not going to name, that I consider a friend. And I can say I felt triggered somehow. I felt triggered to defend that person because I consider that person my friend. And I vouched for her. I was like, this person is my friend, and this other viewer that I also respect is attacking her. So I'm going to go and defend her. And I did that. And that Latin explainer that I'm talking about is Blood Moon. Blood Moon, made some comments, and I know my ignorant ass went at her. Not that it was like a real beef or nothing. To defend this person. So to Blood Moon, like, I owe you an apology. You can say you were right. That's when wisdom comes in place, and wisdom always trumps age and experience. Smoothie, yes, I am aware of what's going on. And in all honesty, like I said, I have never made a stream concerning anything that has transpired when people have talked about me. Blood Moon, welcome. Do you remember that time when I went against you regarding certain persona? You were right and I was wrong. That's why I said that's the only thing I'm going to address out of that. I didn't believe you when you said this person was a liar, and now I'm the one in her hot seat. So get ready for the ride. Like I said, it's the only part of this whole thing that I'm going to address because I believe it's something that I made a mistake on. Like I said, it's the only person like that I agree. She says I'm always right. From now on, trust me, I'm not going to doubt you. You know, you were absolutely right. Like I said, I was completely wrong. And like I said, I went to defend that person because I considered that she was telling me the truth and it was my friend. So I hope you forgive me. Other than that, like I said, guys, I am not known for making reaction videos. I'm not known for making streams about people. Like I've always said, let the circus be the circus. In here, we talk about strictly business. And like I said, if whatever people want to talk makes them happy, at the end of the day, who am I to stop them? Now, guys, without any further ado, and after everybody's here, like I said, don't forget to hit that like button. And even if you don't like it, but I must say, before we close this topic, I've said it many times with other things, and this time I will use it on me because of the mistake that I did when I misjudged what Blood Moon was saying. This one's for me. Oh my goodness. This time is my turn to use it, but it won't happen again. Now, without any further ado, guys, let's get this show started.
Take it to the next level.
Now, guys, I want to share with you. You guys know I always bring news on what's happening on Latin America. And for the first time in history, the United States of America has released, and the Department of State of the U.S. has released basically that for the first time, they're not going to include Venezuela in the visa lottery. If you guys don't know, basically, Venezuela used to have the system with the US among Canada and Brazil, which are also outside of the list, where you could apply in a lottery and you will be selected through a very complicated process that I'm not going to explain, of course. But you will be selected to basically apply for a visa to enter this country legally. Now, for the first time, Mr. President Joe Biden has agreed to keep Venezuela, Brazil, and Canada outside of that list. The only way that Venezuelans now can apply for a visa is if they have a parent or a spouse in a conditional migration status or conditions. So basically, you know, as a reaction to this, like I said, even Canadians, I don't know if you guys are aware, but like, to be honest with you, for a long time, Canada, Venezuela, Brazil, and all these places, you know, have been able to enter the country legally with no problem. So for some weird reason, now the U.S. Department of State has released a statement where Venezuela, Brazil, and Canada now cannot enter this country under any circumstance unless it's the ones that they have addressed. And as a response to that, something that I found really funny is that now Maduro went shopping as a reaction to that. I don't know. Hi, Melanated Night. Maduro reacted to it. He decided to go shopping. Maduro went shopping to Iran and he acquired from missiles, weapons, radars, you know, air defense systems and whatnot. So now we have surrounding areas, Colombia and the United States, watching his every move. And that comes, it brings to my next news, in all honesty, because if you think about it, this comes as news the same week where Maduro's frontman, Alex Bass, has been placed under arrest for money laundering. So I don't know if you guys can put two and two together, but to me, we all know the relationship that the U.S. has had with Venezuela since Maduro, and even before Maduro, when Hugo Chavez was in office, before he passed away in 2013. But the relationship that Venezuela's had with Maduro, and that the relationship that Venezuelans have had even with Alex Saab, is not a good one, because he was Maduro's frontman. So every Venezuelan today is excited to see that this man has been placed under arrest and extradited to Florida, Cabo Verde, Florida, where he was today presented before a judge for his indictment. So, guys, I don't know if you see the writing on the wall, but in my opinion, and this is my opinion only, I can be wrong, but in my opinion, things are heating up when it comes to Venezuela. I don't know how many of you guys remember when I made a stream, and in the news I shared how China was the only remaining customer that Venezuela had for their oil aside from Haiti. And China decided to tax their oil. And I said back then, I think it was May or June, one of those months during the summer, when I said, I don't know what's going to happen with Venezuela, because right now the U.S. already deemed as trash and condemned that anybody will purchase oil from Venezuela. So, of course, after China did that, which was the only customer that they have remaining that could pay, and let's not forget that 90% of the income and commerce that comes into Venezuela is through their oil, because they have more oil than Saudi Arabia. So once they were put in check, is this checkmate for Maduro's regime? Let me know if you're watching either the recap, or if you're watching right now, you can let me know in the comment section. If not, leave a comment of what you think about what's going on with Venezuela, if the plot is thickening. But in my opinion, like I said, this smells really bad when it comes to Latin America, because I'm pretty sure that we're not going to be just bystanders and see how this situation is getting out of control. But now, to be honest with you, this, in my opinion, is checkmate for Venezuela. I don't know if you guys feel the same. Like I said, let me know what's your opinion, because, like I said, his frontman now is in the United States, in jail, well, prison, for money laundering. Now, on top of that, his people cannot leave. So we know there's going to be civil unrest. And on top of that, now he went shopping for guns and all kinds of stuff. So in all honesty, I don't know what's going to happen with Maduro. But to be honest with you, the picture is not pretty at all. So guys, on top of that, something else that I wanted to touch on when it comes to news is the Dominican Republic made the news yesterday. The president of the Dominican Republic made some statements yesterday deeming a change to what is known as the DR police. Luis Abinader announced yesterday that officially yesterday, the transformation of the Policia of the Dominican Republic, the DR police, has begun. This transformation plan comes after continuing events where Dominican police has been recorded abusing their power while policing civilians. The plan includes, among other things, a re-education for officers in the University of Santo Domingo and the introduction of body cams and vehicle cameras to ensure officers comply with civil rights. I don't know how familiar you guys are with how things are policed in the Dominican Republic, but to be honest with you, in the Dominican Republic, a lot of police officers have been recorded in the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, abusing civilians left and right, beating them up, arresting them for no cause, violating all kinds of civil rights. So basically, people got fed up and started, making their voices heard. A lot of people started taking matters into their own hands and carrying weapons and whatnot to intervene. And Luis Abinader, the president of the Dominican Republic, has responded. Now, I want to pose a question to Dominicans that watch my streams. Do you think that this is going to present a change for Dominicans? Do you think that now you can trust this new change? Do you think you can trust what he's doing? Do you think this is going to make a change? Let me know either in the comment section if you're catching the replay or in the chat now where we're going live. Blood Moon says, requiring education first is important like they do in New York City. Yes, that is true. I believe that the education of these police officers is the best way to go. Let's see if this, will bring some benefits to Dominicans, because I've seen the videos. I'm not going to obviously post them. Some of them are extremely violent. But to be honest with you, they are mad crazy. And when I mean crazy, it's like crazy, crazy, crazy. So guys, let me know, like I said, what do you think? If you think this is actually going to change something in the Dominican Republic, do you think things are going to stay the same? What are your thoughts? Because in my opinion, I think this is a good thing, because police officers can lie, civilians can lie, but cameras never lie. So if you guys think this is a good thing, put a number 1 in the chat. If you think this is like something that's not going to work, put a number 2 in the chat. But let's keep it moving, guys, because today we have a lot of stuff to unpack. Oh my. Okay. We have this Saturday. You guys know that every Saturday I watch Fight Night with my fiance, Melanated Night, and we enjoy combat sports. Now, one thing I want to say is that this Saturday UFC event was so trashy. It was dry, slow. I was not impressed by it. Melanated Night even fell asleep in the middle of it. It was not a good event. But one event that is going to be amazing is this next Saturday, when we will see 2 people that were defeated by the middleweight, light heavyweight champion, middleweight champion, Israel Adesanya, who recently moved to the United States, but that's another topic. And between those two is going to be decided who was the best. It's going to be between Costa and Vettori. I don't know who's going to win. In all honesty, I think Costa might win, but we don't know where his mental state is at. So to be honest with you, I don't know who is going to win this bout, but I know it's going to be explosive. And speaking of explosive bouts, I don't know if you guys have seen the official announcement of UFC 269, but in December 11, that day, don't call me, don't text me, don't say anything. That day, I'm going to be looking forward to this event. Is going to have, first of all, is going to have the World Lightweight Championship on the line between Oliveira and Poirier, Dustin Poirier, that recently beat again Conor McGregor and now is facing Oliveira. And as if that wasn't enough, is going to have Amanda Nunes versus Peña for the World Bantamweight Championship. And as if that wasn't enough, we're going to have the great Masvidal going against Edwards in the welterweight bout. And as if that wasn't enough, we're going to have France versus Cody No Love in flyweight bout. And as if that wasn't enough, we're going to have the infamous Sean O'Malley versus Paiva. And I'm not necessarily looking forward to Neil versus Ponzinibbio because, man, yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, one of those fights that to me are fillers. But all of these fights will be in just one event. And it's going to be, no, it's going to be it's MMA Blood Moon. That's mixed martial arts. Dana White said thoughts on Edgar Berlanga. I'm going to give my thoughts on Edgar Berlanga because it's true. I missed to say that last Monday. In my opinion, Edgar Berlanga was out of focus. He won by, I don't know, the grace of Jesus. But in all honesty, he looked like he struggled a lot. Now he's injured, so he's going to be out for, I believe, 3 or 6 months, something like that. But to be honest with you, he looked really bad. He was fucking around the whole fight. I know, it is what it is. But in my opinion, he looked really, really bad. That's one of the worst performances that I've seen from him. And I hope, he recovers. I hope that he brings it the next time. I wasn't impressed by his performance. At some point, I thought he was going to lose. But in all honesty, I think this should be a rematch. In all honesty, Dana White says, I think Sayas is the next Puerto Rican star. I agree with you 100%. Because to be honest with you, he is more consistent, and I get it. Berlanga has amazing power, amazing knockout power, and whatnot. But to be honest with you, I don't see the action, at least in this last fight that he had. He looked really bad. Sayas is more consistent. You don't go into the fight thinking like, hey, he might win, he might not, because you know what to expect. He brings it anytime. He's extremely consistent. He's always in the lookout for the best fights. So I agree with you on that one. I think Sayas will be the next Puerto Rican star if he doesn't encounter somebody that puts him to sleep. Hopefully not. I see that Smoothie said no, Smoothie, that's not my style. That's not my style, but I get it, Like I said, guys, I want to keep away from the whole drama situation. If anybody wants receipts, I have them. I can send them, but I won't bring them into Latin explaining, okay? So shoot me a DM. I'll send you the receipts, whatever you guys want. Just send me a DM or an email. I'll put it on the banners. If you want to send me an email, I'll send you an email with the receipts that I have, and we can put that to rest, right? But definitely, guys, like I said, I'm not going to go down that path. But going back to sports, another thing that I wanted to touch on, sports and music have been going on like for a while. It was the turn for the infamous Rosario that was representing Puerto Rico. He literally, we were thinking, because I don't know if you guys follow baseball, the MLB, but we thought for a second that when the Dodgers were facing the Cardinals, that at some point, because I'm a Cardinals fan, the Cardinals were going to win. Then the Dodgers won. And when the Dodgers won, I was like, holy shit, they're going to probably move forward and become champion. Well, that was a dream that was set up in flames. But Puerto Rican Rosario, he's a Puerto Rican from Guayama that is now in the Braves. So the Braves took the lead from the Dodgers and are now moving forward into the finals of the MLB. And to conclude this whole episode or this whole segment of sports, I know I have not shed a lot of light into the BSN, the National Superior Basketball Association in Puerto Rico. But tonight, as we're speaking right now, there is a game going on between the Capitanes de Arecibo versus the Cangrejeros de Santurce that comes face to face for the semifinal series, which the Capitanes are right now 3-1 to go to the finals to see who's better. I'm not gonna lie, I love the Capitans and whatnot, but I am a Cangrejeros fan, and even though I'm from Caguas, I'm supposed to be from the Criollos of Caguas and whatnot. In all honesty, the Cangrejeros de Santurce are way superior, But of course, they have gotten older. There's a lot of things going on with them. And now the Capitanes from Arecibo are actually taking the lead. And it's very exciting to see this happening. So if you guys are not connected with the BSN, which is a completely independent basketball association in Puerto Rico, stay tuned. There's an amazing season coming up once this finalizes, and we can get all in touch with it. If you want me to cover more from the BSN, let me know in the comment section, let me know in the chat, and I will start covering more what's happening with the Basketball Association in Puerto Rico. But guys, I hope that everything that I have shared here, you appreciate it and you guys love it. I like to bring topics that are for everybody, and I am excited. You guys know I love sports. I absolutely love them. So, of course, I'm going to talk about it. So, guys, let's just keep this moving to one of my other passions and things that I love to talk about. I am sorry. So, let's go into this next segment of Latin-splaining music. Boy, oh boy, didn't I just tell you guys last week that I was so tired of reporting about J Balvin? I was super tired of talking about J Balvin, and I hope that J Balvin honestly had a rest. He hasn't had a rest since I was even in vacation in Puerto Rico, because he had the whole hot dog cart situation with Residente. And then he had the whole feminist movement and the whole, situation happening with the vice president of Colombia, saying that his song was depicting people of Afro-Latino descent in like a bad light, and he was denigrating women and whatnot. Well, now it's YouTube's turn to censor the Colombian rapper. And what happened is that his collab with Tokisha from the Dominican Republic, she's a Dominican dembow artist, was banned from YouTube. Many people woke up today to see that J Balvin's video was not on YouTube, and only the lyrics video is up. YouTube actually removed the content because it was way too explicit and it was wilding, folks. So it was removed. A lot of people are happy that it was removed. I am not. I believe that everybody should have a space. And to be honest with you, a lot of people hate on Tokisha because of her explicit content. So I understand, why some people are against Tokisha. But in all honesty, blocking a fellow Latina, look at Blood Moon. Dominican trash music was banned. Wonderful. No, I don't necessarily agree with that. But I mean, to each his own. We don't have to watch it. But in all honesty, I think, she's doing her music. Let's just let her exist. Don't you guys think? She should exist in YouTube too. She's just creating music. I see MGM Hispanic is saying Tokisha is the mom. Oh my God. No, guys, in all honesty, oh, look, MGM said no. Well, I understand you guys' sentiment. I just think that, we should not be blocking Dominican Dembow in its inception right now. I think we should be just letting it run its course, because if I remember, reggaeton started the same way. Reggaeton used to be very explicit music. If you guys don't remember DJ Playero, MC Ceja, DJ Blas, and all these people that were coming up, I don't know where you were living on there, but they were extremely explicit. Even Nicky Jam and Daddy Yankee were super explicit. However, eventually, as reggaeton evolved into a more genre, and it wanted to reach more public, it started becoming more PG-13. Blood Moon says we already have a negative reputation. We don't need to add to it. Well, that is, you have a point. I'm not gonna after today. I'm not gonna go against anything you say, Blood Moon. You might have a point. You might have a point. But like I said, I believe that it's too early to be censoring Dominican dembow, which is the only reason why I'm saying I think this was not necessarily like the best move on YouTube. But I think, J Balvin right now, people are on the hunt for J Balvin. People are on the hunt for J Balvin, and that is just a reality, guys. So definitely, guys, this has been more of the news today. Before I transition into the topic, I want to say something that I found very interesting yesterday, and I share on my Instagram, and I'm going to share it with you guys. And is that Kourtney Kardashian just got engaged yesterday to her newest boyfriend and ex or Blink-182 drummer Travis Barker. Somebody needs to check on Scott, but definitely they have become engaged after months of dating. I don't know what you guys think about it. I know a lot of people don't necessarily care about the Kardashians, but I do. I'm a fan. So definitely, guys, what do you guys think about this engagement? Do you think they're actually going to get married? Do you think this is just a publicity stunt for their new show on Hulu? Because I've read a lot of mixed comments and whatnot. Do you think that she's faking it? Do you think she's doing it to get Scott's attention? Do you think that he's doing it to get his ex attention? What do you think? What do you guys think is going on? Do you guys think this is for real, or you think this is just bogus? I want to know your opinion. So if you're catching me, I'm sorry. If you're catching me on the replay or catching me live, let me know your opinion. I will make my best efforts to reply to you. But guys, those has been the news for today. Without any further ado, let's just keep it moving and go into the main topic. Okay, guys, we are here. This is what we came here for. I see that Wananako Sayajin is here. Welcome. He's saying, talk about the Teofimo Lopez altercation with Haney. I guess. No, you know what? I don't know anything about it right now. So to make an opinion will be irresponsible. My email is at the bottom of the screen. Shoot me an email or follow me or shoot me a DM on Instagram so that I can do my proper research and I can talk about it Thursday. For sure. But guys, let's just go back to the main topic. The main topic for today is LLC versus corporation. And when I'm talking about corporation, I'm talking about C corporation, not S corporation or DBAs or whatnot. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this is because a lot of people know that I started this channel basically to promote Latino businesses and the creation of Latino businesses. So once you have created a business plan, once you have established what you want to create, and let's say you have all the funding already, which is something that I'm going to talk on my Patreon that I will be eventually creating. So if you guys want to access information on how to pitch or grants that are available to you and stuff like that, I will be creating a Patreon later. It's only going to be $5 a month. I'm not going to raise the prices. I know there's a lot of people that have limited resources, and I'm not trying to get rich out of this. So it's going to be only $5, guys. But once you have everything situated, here comes the question: how am I going to start my business? Is it going to be? Give me 1 second. I don't know what's up with my curtain. Is it going to be an LLC? Is it going to be a corporation? There's so many options. Even the DBA was something that a lot of people use. Now, for all of you guys that normally go and form a DBA, just understand that you're basically registering your business under a fictitious name. For example, is let's say Latin Splaining is gonna open a paleta store. Well, it's gonna be, instead of Denise, is Denise Gonzalez doing business as, which is the DBA, as Latin Splaining Paletas. Get it? Most of the people that I know make businesses as a DBA. Now, one problem that I've seen is that when that happens, at the beginning, it's okay because you don't have like a high risk for huge lawsuits. So of course, at first, it's going to make a lot of sense for you, but as your business grows, you have more liabilities. And that's where the question comes into play, which is, should I establish my business as an LLC or should I establish my business as a C corporation? Now, one thing I would say is that LLCs have become more and more famous simply because, different from a C corporation, LLCs basically allow you, it's called limited liability corporation, which basically never goes against your personal assets. It only goes against the business assets. On top of that, it allows you to write off a certain amount of things and also a certain amount of items that you purchase, like machinery, vehicles, and stuff that depreciates, and you can put it in depreciation when it comes to time for taxes. Now, a lot of people don't take advantage of these situations. When it comes to the corporation, the reason why I don't necessarily agree, and I'm not saying corporations are not good. I'm going to explain the concept of corporations later on, the C corporation. The LLC also allows you, if you want to get the benefits better from an S corporation when it comes to time to file taxes, you can say, hey, I'm an LLC, but I'm going to file taxes and I want it to be treated by the IRS as an S corporation. And then you can enter the benefits of an S corporation when it comes to taxation, which is something that, depending on your business, you're going to have to decide. But basically, when you compare an LLC or an S corporation versus a C corporation, the problem is that a lot of people that are business owners don't understand that a C corporation is the way it's taxed is doubled. For example, I have an income of 100K per year. And what's that going to do is that the profits of the corporation are going to get taxed. Let's say I had the 100K per year in profits that year. So I'm going to get taxes from that. And then when I pay myself a salary as Latin Splaining Paletas, let's say I gave myself during the whole year 50K out of those 100K of profit, I'm still going to have to pay income taxes from that amount of taxes. Now, there are certain things that it's more convenient for you to actually have a C corporation. Like, for example, if you want to go public and sell shares of your company, of course, it's going to be more convenient that you have a C corporation because you're going to be making high income. So, in my opinion, if you don't plan on making $500,000 plus per year, if you don't plan to make your company public, I don't advise you to go with a C corporation type of company. Now, an LLC, on the other hand, if you want to make an LLC public, like eventually you want to make it available for people to buy shares of your company in Wall Street or through any freaking avenue, then you're going to have to transition to a C corporation. Because the LLC only allows you to be either sole ownership or if it's an S corporation, it can be divided into an amount of shareholders that is less than 100. So if you have, for example, a board of directors, and then you have a lot of people in your company that owns shares of the company because either they invested or they brought their skills or they brought whatever to your company, and it's more than 100 people, then unfortunately you're going to have to transition into the corporation status. So basically, guys, an LLC, if you're starting a business, and you're a small business, like if I'm starting Latin Splaining Paletas today, One thing that is more convenient for me is, I will say, to small businesses, or if you're starting your business and you don't know how much money you're going to make, the best way to go will be an LLC. Now, there are different ways where you can pay yourself through the LLC. Depending on how much money you make, you have to think about taxes. And one of the things that I see more people making mistakes when it comes to taxes with the LLC is that they don't understand. For example, an LLC, you have different ways where you can pay yourself. And those ways, for example, it can be, you can assign yourself a salary. And when you assign yourself a salary, you have to understand that you're going to have to file basically a W-4 with your own company, write yourself as an employee, and actually use your W-2 to actually file taxes like a regular employee from another company. But you have the benefits that you can, write off things from, still from the profits. On top of that, you're going to be able to open business accounts and whatnot, something that, other ways to, register your business with the State Department is not going to allow you. Now, one thing I would say, I don't necessarily agree that that's the best way to pay yourself through an LLC, unless you have projected sales that are backed up by the year before. For example, in your first year, I think that the best way for you to pay yourself will be through distribution at the end of the year. You make a projection. For example, I'm going to make a projection that per month I'm going to my per year I'm going to pay myself, just to make like a crazy number, $12,000. That's what I'm going to get from my business. And at the end of the year, that's how you're going to pay yourself. And again, you have to go through the whole process of paying taxes either through income or through profits. That is another thing that is different from corporations. And corporations, you get taxed basically double. But through the LLC or X corporation, you get taxed only once. So you get to decide whether you want to be taxed as a company, or if you want to get from your profits, or if you want to get taxed through income. Now, the benefits through an LLC vary from one thing to the other. And that's what I want to focus on today, because of course, nobody that's starting a business is going to go through the whole process of establishing a corporation and all the responsibilities that it takes. Now, before I go even further, I want to say a disclaimer. All the things that I'm saying here are for information purposes only. If you have any doubts and you want to start your business, I will advise you to contact an attorney. There are ways when you can do so. I will share them later on, so you guys can contact an attorney. Even if you don't have money, find a way to actually do so that they can actually walk you through this process, because it can be a little confusing. But I guarantee you, if you cut corners when it comes to this, your business will most likely fail. Several things that you can do and that are absolutely great for LLC to deduct from LLC is one, rental expenses. That's when it comes, for example, if you had to rent a space to have your business, if you had to rent equipment, if you had to rent any kind of thing, or even when you take Ubers or Lyfts related to your business, that's when you get to deduct the rental expenses. Those are write-offs that having an LLC benefits the owner, or if it's not a sole ownership, it will be a partnership. But those are one of the benefits of having an LLC. Another one is charitable giving. Like whenever you make a donation or you give something for free for let's say, for example, my paleta company is going to donate 1,000 paletas in Christmas to kids. I'm going to write down the amount of paletas and the amount of money that would create in profit to me, and also how much it cost me to actually do that. If I had to put an employee, if I had to put my time and whatnot, and that some amount I can deduct eventually and write off from taxes out of my profit. I can deduct from my profits all that money that I use for that. Another thing that an LLC allows you to deduct is insurance. If you had to pay, deductibles, smoothie. If you had to pay insurance, for example, that's another thing that you can deduct in an LLC. Whereas it been for your equipment, for employees, insurance for your rental space, or if you have a space of your own, all the insurances that you have paid to make your business completely operational under the law, you can deduct as a write-off as an operational cost. Another thing is tangible property. So basically, give me 1 second, guys. Tangible properties, for example, when I purchase something that I'm going to use one time, for example, I'm buying a building today, or not a building. I would say, let's say I'm buying a table. I'm buying 10 tables to have like a line of production for my paletas, right? So every table was $800. And I bought 10. So it's $8,000 that I get to deduct from my profits at the end of the year. Another thing is professional expenses. When you have to pay for licenses to keep your business current and complying with all the laws, or when you have to invest some money to actually retrain your employees or provide for them, like we saw during this pandemic, PPE and all the stuff, those things get also deducted in an LLC, which is why it's important for you to decide if actually a C corporation or a DBA, which does not allow you to do these things, is the best thing for you, which is why I'm encouraging people, if you're starting your business, the best way to go is through an LLC. Another thing, half of the cost of your meals and entertainment that are related to to your business, you get to also deduct from your LLC. So if, for example, you're paying for the Latin explaining paletas, is basically paying for Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving dinner, I get to write that off. And let's say I want to have a raffle also during that dinner for the employees of Latin explaining paletas, then definitely I will write that off as well from the profits to maximize, to minimize the amount of taxes that I will pay. Now, another thing is that, for example, if you hire somebody as an independent contractor, you get to deduct that also as well from your profits, and also the cost of goods sold. For example, LLCs mostly either manufacture or resell goods that they purchase from somewhere for profit. You have to decide, if your goods are going to be deducted at the end of the year, deducting it from, hold on. If you're going to deduct it at the end of the year, for example, let's say Latin explaining paletas, I manufacture my own paletas in-house. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to deduct from all of the money that I made, the 100K that I made per year selling my paletas, because I sold 100K of them, or I sold like 1,000,000 of them, and I only make $1 per paleta after, the cost, expenses, and the labor, and the businesses, insurance, and, the business structure and whatnot. After that, if I'm going to deduct it from the gross sellings, from all the money that I made without all of those deductions, then I get to deduct the cost of all those goods. How much it cost me to manufacture that, including labor, including the packaging, including the tables. Hi, Wendell, what's up? Make sure that everybody that's coming in, like and subscribe if you haven't done so, guys. So definitely, if not, you have another way to deduct it. Because you cannot deduct it one way or the other. The other way you can deduct the cost of your goods, the things that you sell, is basically deducted it on the expenses area. Like, for example, I had to buy basically This applies more for the people that purchase products at a wholesale price and sell at a retail price. I'm sorry. If I buy paletas from somebody else that include yogurt and I put that in the expenses area, then I have to put everything in the under expenses. So you have two ways that the LLCs allow you to actually, thank you, Wendell. Yeah, I look a mess today, but it's okay. But definitely, guys, I hope, like I said, this is only mainly for information. I'm under no circumstance. I am your personal attorney advising you to do anything. Under any circumstance, I am a CPA. Under any circumstance, I'm your advisor, but this is information only. So, guys, basically, I think this is something that if you still have doubts on it, if you're starting your business, like I said, my email is scrolling down as we're speaking. So if you have any questions, I have more information. I just don't want to bore people out with it. But the bulk of the message is, if you're starting a business that either purchases goods from a wholesaler or produces it, and you're just starting, there is no way in hell that a corporation will be the best way for you to go until you're ready to go public. If you're ready to start, your business, you have branched out throughout all the states, and you have different branches in Europe, you have in Latin America, you have in Asia and whatnot, then I will advise you then to move into a corporation. But until then, my advice would be LLC. It's the best way. Also, you can write off depreciating assets, like you can purchase a vehicle that you use at least 75% or 50% of the time for the company. And instead of just writing it off as a one-time purchase, every time, according to the IRS guidelines, you can actually deduct the depreciation of your vehicle. So basically, you can have a vehicle for free when it comes to tax season. So basically, guys, another thing that I want to add before I let people in, I'm going to put the link below if you guys want to join me. I'm gonna make it quick, but definitely, guys, one thing I will say is, before I go any further, one thing I want to let you guys know: if you're starting a business today, or you started it this year, one thing I would say, no problem, Wendell. No problem. That's what we're here for. And trust me, I have learned this the hard way. And I'm also learning. Don't make the mistake to think that because I'm giving you guys this information, I'm the know-it-all. I am not. There's a lot of things that I still have to learn. So, but everything I learned, I would share with you guys. Another thing I would say, if you start a business this year or the year before, and it's time for taxes, you have to decide if you want to be taxed as an S corporation or an LLC before March 14 on a regular year or March 15 on a leap year. No, or reverse. March 14 on a leap year and March 15 on a regular year, because you have 2 months and 15 days after that to decide how you're going to be taxed. So if you own a business, one thing I can say, or if you start a business or you're looking to start a business, always know that that is the rule that applies. And another thing I would say is explore your options and maximize the write-off area that you can help yourself eventually deduct taxes from it, because one of the issues and the problems that I see with new entrepreneurs or solopreneurs and whatnot is that more often than not, people don't know how much they can get for their actual investment, and they eventually end up paying more taxes than they should because they don't know how many things they can write off and how many things actually will get wrote off from their taxes and from their profits. So guys, I hope this has clarified a little bit of the questions that I've gotten regarding LLC and corporation. Like I said, if you're a small business, in my opinion, of course, would be get your EIN, register your LLC. You can even do it online. Make sure you pick a name that nobody has. After that is clear up, you can register with the state that you're in your county. And then after that, go open a business account. Get all the insurance, the licenses, and the permits, and then start operating right away. But another thing I would say, make sure that you keep all the records for your expenses. If you bought a lollipop on the company's dime, you have to produce that receipt. Either take a screenshot and put it in a file on your phone or put it in an external memory. I don't care what you do. Keep it with you at all times. Do not let it slide because every penny counts, especially when we're doing business, guys. So like I said, I hope this has clarified for a lot of you guys how to basically start a business. I know this is very basic information. And like I said, I can get more into it. I will get more into it in my Patreon. And also, I will start my Patreon, if not in November, then in January, so that we can start discussing how to get funding, how to pitch, how to create your business plan, and how to establish an LLC and maximize your profits by tax write-offs. So guys, before I let the people that want to comment let in, I want to remind you guys to follow me on Instagram, denise.gonzalez.villegas1, so that you can keep up with everything that's happening in Latin America and our Latin diaspora, because sometimes I don't have the time to make a video on everything that's happening. And oh boy, a lot of things are happening in Latin America. I see that Wendell says that he prefers Butterfingers than a lollipop. Then you better save every Butterfinger receipt. Now, guys, I'm going to go into intermission. You guys know how I do it here, but I'm not going anywhere. So I hope you don't either, because if you do, no, I'm joking. But definitely, guys, you can come up, chat with me. If you don't want to be on camera, that's another thing I'm doing. If you don't want to be on camera, if you don't want to be on YouTube, let me know. I can still put you on. If you want to be anonymous or whatever the hell, you can also let me know. But I will say, if you want to come up, chat with me, if you want to do whatever it is you want to do, make sure that you click on that link below and you come up and you let me know in the private chat before I put you on. Now, other than that, for all the people that try to come at me and say all we have to say, just remember one thing: we don't do drama here. In here, we deal and we front with either LLC registrations or tax returns. If you don't bring those to me and your tax return is a piece of shit, I'm not gonna even pay attention to you. In here, we front with numbers, not with words, because otherwise it's
epic fail.
Exactly. Epic fail. So guys, like I said, I'm going to take some time. I'm going to take 5 minutes. It's 6:58 where I am at. I will be back at 7:03 so that we can hear, I see that Jose is already here, so that we can hear people's thoughts and opinions when it comes to what we discussed here today. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. And like I said, if you want to chat with me, make sure you tap on that link and let me hear you guys, okay? I will be back in 5 minutes, guys. And we are back, Latin explainers. We are back from our intermission. I see that Jose, the one, the only, the infamous Jose Negron is here. What's up, Jose?
Good evening, my cyber daughter. How you doing tonight?
I am good, my cyber father. Now, before we start our discussion, I want to remind people that the views and statements of the guests do not necessarily represent those of the channel and are those of the panel members, as some comments may be offensive to select groups of people. Also, I want to remind everybody that by calling into the live show, you waive your rights to the use of your image and likeness for the purposes of the show. So without any further ado, Jose, how did you saw today's topic? What is your take on it?
As usual, Denise, you provide information that very few people provide. In fact, I think you're the only one person that I know of that's addressing these issues. And at the risk of sounding like a broken record, I just wish the naysayers would try to get some brain cells resurrected and just basically at least listen to what you have to say before they enter any further comments. But that's easier than raising the Titanic. So, but
Definitely.
But the fact of the matter is, it's good as always. It's good information. And to be perfectly honest, I never thought about it. Now you give me something else to think about.
Definitely, definitely. That's something that, I've seen people that are now starting their business and don't know, either go in working it as a DBA or don't even know how to register as. They don't know the differences. And because there's a lot of resources that are not available, a lot of people don't know what to select. So I wanted to shed some light on that also. Now that you brought that to my attention, there is a few things that I'm going to discuss, like I said, at the end, on how to get some help to actually have access. Like if you don't have any resources to access an attorney that can help you with the formation of your company, your LLC or your corporation. At the end of this stream, I'm going to have a little bit more of information. But basically, what do you think, Jose, overall, aside from the whole LLC and the whole thing regarding Venezuela and sports and whatnot? What do you think?
Well,
Yankees are a goner.
well, you know what? It's a bitter pill for me because I bleed Yankee blue. So, but you know what? May the better team win. I'm going to be a good sport about that.
Definitely.
As far as Venezuela, I really don't have much an opinion. I will have to study because I don't like to opine on something that I don't know about. We got too many of the mix that's doing an excellent job on commenting on stuff that they know absolutely positively nada about.
Well, like I said, I'm not necessarily going to even go there. You know me, Jose. I don't.
I know you, I know you, and there's some things that I would prefer to wait until we get on the, after the show to discuss because I got a lot of opinions on things that I prefer not to share here.
Yeah, definitely. But before, if nobody else is here that wants to join, if you don't have anything else, Jose, I'm gonna start wrapping this up. So final thoughts, Jose, on today's stream.
As usual, it's very interesting, and I think you should do a part 2.
Definitely.
In my humble opinion, and I would suggest, if you know of an attorney that can discuss these topics, I think we would get a great deal of knowledge of it. No slide on your part. You're very knowledgeable what you talk about. But I think if we can have an attorney to speak on this a little bit further, I think what it will do is it will bring the point home. And I know you don't talk a lot of BS, okay? But I think if we have an attorney, the attorney will confirm the fact that you don't talk a lot of BS. Let me just give you my final thoughts. Great stream, as always. And again, I was your only guest. I do have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's regarding the ranch. Okay. Now I understand that makes me a moderator.
Yes, I don't have control over the ranches that are given. So if you are given a ranch on my channel, that is Melanated Knight. He handles all my visuals, my graphics, and my channel. I just come here and produce the content and just display it here. But he made you, gave you a ranch. Now you're an admin, a moderator.
Well, first of all, Mother, and I thank you very much that you see fit to make me a moderator. Okay, but going back to the topic, it's very good, and I think we need to have a part 2.
Yes.
And I think we do need to have an attorney on the subject. And of course, you know me. I'm going to close the same way that I always close. People, please be careful out there, because we're dealing with C-19, and we're also dealing with another illness which is even more deadlier than C-19, which is ignorance, stupidity, and insanity, of which the bakes are bringing upon all of us. And we need to avoid contact as much as possible with these blessed individuals, because if we fail to do so, we will be inherited by their stupidity, and then we will be talking like we are brain damage.
Okay, Jose, thank you very much for joining. I will put you backstage. Don't go anywhere. Guys, before I go, MK says you're welcome, Jose. Now, before I go, I want to share what I said I was going to share, which is if you are looking to seek some counsel advice, a counselor to actually help you with the registration of your company or your business, I will advise, if you don't have the money to do so, or if you're in a budget, you're trying to save a buck, you can find an attorney that offers free consultations. There's a lot that don't, but there's also a lot that do. Also, you can find law schools that has entrepreneurs, I think it's clinics or entrepreneur clinics that can actually assist you. But I think you have to qualify like as an indigent. But each school has like a different criteria. So try it the best. The answer will always be no if you don't try it. And the other option that you have is that you can call your state, the state bar association of your state. I'm here in California, so it will be the California State Bar if you're here in California, just like me, and ask if you can get pro bono assistance when it comes to corporate law, and they will direct you exactly where you have to go. But guys, those are 3 options if you cannot afford an attorney. Like I said before, guys, this is the way that you can actually get your business started. I will hate to see if people continue to have this reckless business discipline and whatnot. I would love for guys to actually start writing down or putting in paper their businesses so that it can become a reality. Also, don't forget that also brings a lot of benefits and write-offs and discounts that you can have when it comes to taxes. Whereas a DBA, yes, it's less of a headache, but at the end of the day, you're going to be paying big bucks to actually avoid doing the paperwork or paying a CPA or an attorney to help you out. Now, guys, before I leave, I want to invite you guys on Thursday. We're going to have a very special stream that is dedicated to the most beautiful season of the year, the most special and dedicated season that I put the most effort into it, even though I don't believe in the zodiac itself, and that is Libra season. For all of you guys that don't know, I am a Libra. I celebrated my birthday last Monday. Thank you to everybody that sent me messages and, good wishes and whatnot, and that has asked me how my birthday was. It was amazing. It was really good. It was more intimate, of course, because you guys know I'm not like into big social settings like that, especially with the C-19 ravaging. So until I feel safe, I will not engage in huge social gatherings yet. Another thing I would say is before I leave, before I go to what I was going to say, Thursday, we're going to have fellow Libras share their experiences, their anecdotes, and whatnot. We're still going to have a regular show, but the topic will be Libra season. So definitely tune in. If you have had a bad encounter with a Libra, if you can stand Libras, if you love us, if you have anecdotes and whatnot, I want to hear from you. So definitely tune in this Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time or 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, one thing I would say before I leave, guys, is that I want you guys to stay productive. Don't get derailed from anything that transpires. Just like I do, I'm trying to set an example for everybody else so that we can elevate our maturity levels to where they're supposed to be. Now, another thing that I would say, guys, before I go is this Thursday, like I said, we're going to have the Libra season. But I'm going to be starting a Patreon for all of you guys that do not know how Patreon works. Is through subscriptions. It's going to be, like I mentioned before, only $5. So make sure that you tune in so that you can keep up with what I am doing. And before I go, I want to remind you to don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Denise.Gonzalez.Villegas1, so that you can keep up with me. You can DM me, message me. We can laugh at whatever I post. You can argue with me, whatever you want to do. Just make sure you follow me on Instagram, guys. It has been a pleasure to be here. I want to thank everybody for allowing me into their homes and devices once again with my show. This has been another episode of Latin Explaining with Denise, all about business and finances. Peace. See you on the next one.